Hi, and welcome to Mr. McLeod's Probability Room. All around me you see all sorts of flaming dartboards and some cool tables and teleporter even to go to my other room. But the reason you're here is to learn all about probability, so the chances of something happening. If you look at the dartboard is basically a big circle broken up into 20 little pieces. Now, probability means the chances of something happening. To find the probability of something, you need to find how likely or how many ways something can happen out of how many total ways. So if we take the dartboard for instance, if the dartboard has the 20 sections, if we take the numbers 1 through 5 on the dartboard, they're not next to each other, but they're all over the place, but there's 5 of them. They would be 5 of the 20 pieces. Now since they're all the same size, it makes it easier. If we talk about the numbers 1 through 5 on the dartboard, the probability of hitting it should be 1 out of 4. 5 out of 20 reduces down to 1 out of 4. Now that's what's called theoretical probability, because that's a probability of that's how often something should happen if you do it many times in a row. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do an experiment called experimental probability. Now that's the chances of something happening according to the experiment you did. Now if something should happen half the time, theoretical probability, but if you do an experiment to find out it only happens 1 out of 50 times, then that means experimental probability is 1 out of 50, but the theoretical probability would have been 1 out of 2. And technically, if you would keep doing the same experiment millions and millions of times, what should happen is it should turn into 1 out of 2. So, the experiment I want you guys to do is I want you to go to a dartboard. Now there's lots of them around here, so you should be able to go to one easy. But go to a dartboard, and I want you to randomly throw the dart. Don't try to aim, just randomly throw the dart. Do it 50 times. Count up how many times out of those 50 that you landed on the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now that would be, remember, theoretical probability meant that you should hit it 1 out of every 4 times. Now since you're throwing it 50 times, it should happen 12 and a half times, but you can't have the half. So technically you should hit it 12 or 13 times. But since this is an experiment, that doesn't always happen. So what I'd like you guys to do is do it 50 times. And then when you guys come back to class, we're going to put together everybody's experiment and see what probability is all together. With everybody together, it should come out to be about 1 out of 4. But we'll see what happens. And after you guys finish your experiment, feel free to sit there and actually play darts. Have fun.